before we get into this video, you guys go get this book. It's another one over there. It's called Prayer Journal. I'll put it in the description. But this book, this journal, this devotional is so good, y'all. It really just teaches you how to trust God, how to basically step. It's called Believing Bigger, but it's basically just stepping your faith up in God and why you should trust God and everything. It's really a good book, but that's not about what's going on today. So let's get into the video.
You're watching amiramariiib TV.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Marie, and we're back with another video today. I need to figure out an intro. Like, somebody please comment down below. You know what? Never mind, because by the time I post this, I probably will have an intro. I'm always doing the same thing. It's so irritating. Anyway, it just really pisses me off because like I feel like it's so plain. Do you guys like mind it? Do you like the plain intro? Do you like the hi, it's Marie, welcome to my channel? You feel me? Like, it's like kind of a spill, but I said that in the relationship. I mean, in my old channel. So I'm like, I want to reinvent myself. I want to say something different. Like, what's up, queens? I don't know, but whatever. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? I hope you guys are having a great day just like I am. I've had a blessed day so far. I worked out today. So whenever I work out, it's always a good day because, yeah, it just makes you feel so good. I don't know. But anyway, today's video is going to be called Step into a New You. Now, as self-explanatory as that may sound, we're going to explain what it means. It means basically stepping into a new you. I just said the title again. What? It basically means just changing who you are, changing who you used to be, and bringing that new woman that you want to be, bringing that new woman that you inspire to be, bringing that new woman into your life and being her. Step into a new you, okay? I stepped into a new me. There's still some parts about me that I'll be hanging on to, but I gotta let them go. I'm in that phase right now, learning to let them go. That's why I think this channel is gonna be so like great, because as I'm giving you guys pointers from what I have went through, it's literally things that I'm still going through. And as I'm going through this entire journey and learning new things about myself and learning new things as a woman, I'm sharing them with you guys so that you guys can, maybe it's like relatable, maybe it's something that you wanted to change and you couldn't figure out how to. So it's kind of me helping you along the way, you know, but also me changing myself. Like, I guarantee you, y'all, I mean, it ain't gonna be no end to the channel, but I guarantee you 2-3 years from now, we're gonna look back at these videos like, girl, you grew. But anyway, today is called Step into a New You. That is the title of today's video. Step into a new you. So about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I can't really remember when, but I was watching a sermon by Sarah Jakes Roberts. I love her so much. If somebody knows her, tell her to follow me. Tell her to subscribe to my channel. I would love to talk to her. But anyway, I was watching Sarah Jakes Roberts, and her sermon was on being afraid of the dark, or it's called Afraid of the Dark. You know, being afraid of change, being afraid of things that you can't foresee for yourself happening in the future, things that you have to have faith in order to, in order to accomplish, in order to bring them into your life. So it was basically being afraid of growing, being afraid of change, being afraid, of those things, being afraid of the dark. So that's kind of where this episode is, I won't say mimicking off of, because everything she said, I'm not going to put it in here because I feel like that would be copyright. I'm pretty sure that would be copyright. Anything that she says that was like a key pointer for me, I will be, obviously mentioning it or whatever. Again, don't mind the neighbors. They move all day. I don't get it. Just stay still. Anyway, so one of the things that she said in her sermon was, it's easier to fix the light inside of a room than it is to fix the darkness inside of us. So what that means to me is it's easier to judge other people around you and try to fix their life and try to fix the things that's wrong with them. It's easier to look into other people's lives than it is to reflect on your own wrongdoing or to reflect on your own problems. So once we realize the judgment that we put out there towards everybody else, oh, she need to get her stuff together because her baby father, or she need to, I don't know, y'all. Whatever, how we are when we judging people, or when we're in like the midst of something, we see somebody and we're just like, or we see something on Instagram, we're like, sis, you need to get it together. No, sis, you need to get it together. When she had said that in the sermon, it really spoke to me because I know a lot of people in my life that try to fix everybody else's problems, but they are the problem. Like, they're like one of the biggest problems, or they have some of the biggest problems in their life. And it's just like, why are you judging them? Fix you, sis. You talking about her weight. What about your weight? Why you got a fupa? You talking about, you feel me? Like, I don't like that. So I honestly used to be one of those people who would be on the outside trying to look into other people's lives and having my own two-faced about it, or having my own judgment about what they were doing or what they were doing wrong. And especially when this pandemic first started, it was this girl that I went to high school with, and she became, a pastor and everything. And I was just like, this was when I was in a really bad place in my life. And I was just like, girl, what you becoming a pastor for? You was in school doing this and that and da 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 da. You feel me? Just judging her for who she used to be and not who she's trying to become. So I pulled myself out of being that person. And because I was raised around somebody who did that, a couple of people who did that in my life, it was second nature to me. It was a generational curse. It was something that it was, like I said, it was second nature to me. I just judge people without knowing them. I judge people and looked inside of their lives without even knowing the situation. And we got to remember to stop doing that as women, because we don't want to beat each other down. We want to lift each other up, because ain't nobody else gonna lift us up. I mean, God's gonna lift us up, but ain't nobody else in this world gonna lift us up. People beat us down to the ground and we just act like we can take it. But anyway, that's not what today's video is on. So basically, all of that to say, that was not ladylike. Excuse me. So basically, I said all of that to say, stop being afraid of change. Change is important in life. It's important for us to evolve as people, as human beings, period. You don't have to be a woman, you could be a man, you could be a dog, it don't matter. You could be anybody in the world, and change is important for you. I mean, maybe not a dog, but change is important. When you change certain characteristics about yourself. You change the way that you think. You change the way that you act in day-to-day life. Like for me, for instance, a big part of my change was not playing the game anymore, because I'm a video game. If you play video games, comment down below. But anyway, I don't really play the game anymore. Well, I don't play the game at all. I literally stopped playing the game like 6 months ago or whatever. TV, don't really watch TV anymore. I try to focus on God. Now, I will say, maybe some days that I will binge watch, but I've been getting on myself about it. Like, come on, sis, let's do something better for your life. Let's read a book. Let's go work out. Let's, do something more important than what you're doing right now, because you binge watching TV is not bringing anything to your life. So change is just important so that you can continue to grow as a person. You can continue to prosper as a person. You continue to just change the way that you think, change your mind, change the way that you are. It's very important to change. My biggest thing is to be better than who you were yesterday. So if you know, for instance, for me, yesterday, again, one of my lazy days, I decided to, binge watch on Netflix. And towards the end of the day, I was just like, girl, why are you binge watching? You could be doing anything else right now. And then I had finally got up and I had uploaded my video and I had started a description for my video. Then I made a new cover art. I started doing all of these different things because I was just like, yo, you can't be who you used to be, and that's really important. Don't be who you used to be. If you are changing as a person, you can't go back to who you used to be. You have to continue to change. Otherwise, you're just gonna go back to old habits. But yeah, be better than who you were yesterday. That's one of my biggest things. When you change, it's important that you feel uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable means that you are growing as a person. Being uncomfortable in certain situations and certain opportunities that you take, you're growing as a person. Whenever you're comfortable with your life, whenever you're comfortable with who you are as a person, that means there's no growth. God can't work with that. When you're comfortable with who you are, when you're comfortable with just laying in bed all day smoking a blunt, or when you're just comfortable watching TV all day, or when you're just comfortable, not doing anything productive in your life. God doesn't want that from you. He wants you to continue to evolve as a person. He wants you to continue to grow and change. It's important for us as humans. It is important for us to continue to grow our mind. I'm gonna keep saying that. Grow your mind is important for that. My ex used to say that all the time, because he would start, towards the end of our relationship, he would read books and stuff like that. And now I envy that, because it's very important to do those things, because if you just stay with who you are as a person in your day-to-day activities, or if you just stay who you are in the same mindset as you were 3 years ago, and that was one of my biggest problems too. When I got out of college, I was staying who I was as a person, who I was in college. And for those 4 years that I was in college, I was the same exact person. I wasn't growing, I wasn't evolving, I wasn't doing anything for myself, because I put a pause on myself. I put a pause on my life. I just didn't want to do it anymore, or I just didn't understand what life was. I didn't understand what my purpose was. So it allowed me to hinder my progress of my growth. I was going through all of college. I was very comfortable with who I was. I did not care about nobody's change. I didn't care about growing as a person. I didn't care about expanding my mind. None of that. I just was content with who I was, and that's got cut off there. But anyway, you can't be content with who you used to be. And I'm going to keep saying this, is going to sound repetitive, but it's very important. Grow, 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 grow. Change allows you to elevate your mind. It allows you to realize your good habits and your bad habits, and it allows you to ditch those bad habits and get better habits. Maybe you're somebody who ritually wakes up and smokes like I used to, or you're somebody who makes that bad decisions in relationships, or you're somebody who just literally sits around and is just lazy all day and doesn't do anything productive to their life. You're not helping yourself when you're doing that. You're not pushing yourself any further than where you are, and it's important that we continue to elevate our minds, that we continue to grow as people. I feel like I keep saying the same things, but it's important. But yeah, it just teaches you new things about yourself. It teaches you the things that you want to strive for. It teaches you the things that you want to, let go of in your life. The people that you want to change definitely changes the people that you want in your life. You will notice, okay, if you're serious about this mission, if you're serious about this journey, you will notice that as you begin to change, as you begin to turn into a new you, or step into a new you, when you begin to do that, you're going to realize that the people around you are going to start looking at you a certain way. They're going to start talking about you behind your back. They're going to start not hanging out with you anymore, because they're used to who you used to be. And that's something that you have no control over, and you can't dwell on that. That was one thing that I was going through that I realized that I couldn't dwell on that anymore. Like, all the friends that I had that were smokers, or friends that I had that were clubbers or whatever like that, and they just kept on asking me, go out, go out, go out, go out, and I'm just looking like, sis, and there's nothing wrong with the club or anything like that. Like, I would go to a club and, you know, but, you know, I was just stepping into a new place in my life, and I was just like, you know what, I know if I go to the club with you, we probably gonna hotbox the car. We probably gonna go in the club, get a couple drinks. We're gonna be dancing and stuff, talking about everybody around. I'm good. I'm not even in that place in my life. And you have to allow yourself to get to your new place before you can, you know, be around those people. Because when you step into yourself fully and you realize who you are fully, when you come around those people, no matter the temptation that they bring around you, no matter the energy that they bring around you, you're going to continue to be who you are, the new you that you are, because you're not going to allow somebody who used to be an influence in your life or used to be in your life, period, to influence you back to those bad habits. You know, you're going to continue to grow as a person, because you're going to be like, look, I'm happy where I am right now, and I'm going to stay right here. Okay? And that's where I am right now. Like, I hope my friends don't, you know, think that I'm being phony or anything, but at the same time, I don't care. Like, I mean, not trying to be petty or anything, but I don't, like, because I'm loving who I am, you know. And I was in a depressed phase and nobody realized it. I was in a really bad point in my life and nobody realized it. And now that I am where I am, and even when I text my friends now, I'll be talking about God. I'll be, you know, like, if one of my friends asked me for advice and I just really was like, you know, if you don't want to hear about God, don't come talk to me, okay? Because I'm gonna bring God in every single situation. I never understood why my grandmother did that, because I used to hate it. But now I understand it, because at the end of the day, you got to go to God before you go to anybody else. But anyway, that's another lesson. Yeah, so I just started to be comfortable with who I am now, and I don't want to step backwards. And if I feel like if I'm going to talk to somebody who's going to make me step backwards, I can't hang out with you, dog. Sorry. Like, that ain't the wave that I'm on anymore. And that's just how you have to go about it. Another important note is, don't think that you have it all together, okay? Nobody has it all together. I don't have it all together. Not even Beyonce has it all together, okay? We're all still growing in God's light. What my grandmother always says to me, you never graduate from the University of God. And that basically means that you never stop learning from God. You never stop getting lessons. You never stop getting taught by God. You have to remember that you never graduate from the University of God. And that just means that you have to continue to, throughout your entire life, you have to continue to have God in your life. Push yourself in the things that you do. You have to remember that you're trying to step into a new you, and you don't want to go back. You're running away from that old person that you used to be. That old person I used to be, I'm at full sprint away from her, okay? I'm not trying to be like her no more. She wasn't an influence. She wasn't a role model in my life, none of that. I want to be my own role model. I want my kids to look at me and be like, wow, mommy really, like, was that chick? Like, yeah. Just remember that nobody's perfect. You don't have it all together. And it's okay if you, just like I said in the episode last week, if it is the one from last week, nobody has it all together. So you have to remember that it may be times that you may relapse, or you may go back to who you were, and then it's just important for you to snap out of it. It's important for you to pull yourself back into who you know that you're supposed to be, because I get into them times too. Like I said, when I be binge watching, I know that's who I used to be, but then, like I said yesterday, I was like, girl, it's been 3 hours, you've been binge watching. You need to cut this off, and you need to do something productive. And guess what? For the remainder of the night, I did something productive, because I don't want to be who I used to be. And I just have to continue to remind myself that I need to continue to grow. I need to continue to change. I need to make sure that I'm doing things that are productive every single day, that I'm not going back to who I used to be. And that was that lazy, added, judgmental, bitche person. So all of that to say, it is now time to shine a light on you. It is time to shine a light on the new woman or man. I just assume that women are watching this because it's called Broken Women. But anyway, shine a new light on you. Step into the person that you're supposed to be. Get into that zenful aura. I know I keep doing this, but like seriously, like it's time for you to shine that light on you. Time to break away from old habits, y'all. Like I said, binge watching TV is a habit. Social media is a big habit that people need to break. Look at your phone. If you have iPhones, I don't know about Galaxies. I ain't about that Galaxy life. If you have an iPhone, you know that there is a section in our iPhone that we can go to that will literally tell us how long we've been watching stuff. If you watch stuff on your phone, it'll tell you how long you've been watching stuff, how long you've been on social media, how long you've been on the phone or you've been texting and all of that stuff. It'll tell you all of that. That's my challenge to you. Go look on your phone and tell me what your thing says. And if it says that you've been on social media over 5 hours or over 10 hours, whatever the heck, over 5 hours really, because that's a lot of hours to be on social media, then you need to be doing something more productive with your life. That right there should speak volumes to it. It should show you that, oh, what am I doing? It literally tells you day by day. One day I had looked at my joint and it said I was on social media for 8 hours. And I was just like, who? I'm not looking at social media that long. Yeah, no, Siri's telling you right now that you are. You've been looking at social media for 8 hours. And I was just really appalled. Like, no, sis, you need to get it together. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't what you're supposed to be doing, because why are we need to spend 8 hours on doing something else. Like, another big thing is to focus on your purpose. When you step into a new you need to know your why. You need to know your purpose. You need to know why you are trying to change for yourself. You need to know what your purpose is in life. What is something that you dream of doing? What is something that you inspire to do? What is something that God called you to do? What is something that makes you happy? You have to focus on all of those things when you're changing who you are, because it's important to figure out what you love, what brings you joy in life, what allows you to grow as a person. So for me, obviously, YouTube. I've always known that I loved YouTube, but I always quit on myself. And I know now that I've stepped into this new person who I am, I want this to be a main focus for my life. I want it to be something that I pursue in my life. I want it to be something that I put my all into. And also my self-care. Like I told y'all in the last video or the last 2 videos, I just started this self-care type journey, and being on this self-care journey has taught me so much about myself, y'all. If you do not have a self-care book or journal, please go get one. This one is a devotional. Like I showed y'all in the beginning, this one is a devotional, but it still teaches you things about yourself, about how you need to trust God, how you have to, walk by faith, not by sight, and all of that stuff. But I have other self-care journey or self-care books that literally touch into who you are as a person. What makes you angry, what makes you frustrated, what makes you sad, what makes you, all of those different feelings that you feel on a daily basis. Because honestly, ever since I've been on this self-care journey, on this spiritual journey, on this health journey, on this fitness journey, all of these different journeys, I have been filled with nothing but happiness every single day. God makes me happy every single day, and everything that I do in life makes me happy because I'm reaching for my purpose. I'm reaching for that new person that I want to be. I'm reaching for her so hard that I don't even see the girl that I used to be anymore. I'm running, like I said, I'm sprinting away from her. But yeah, just focus on your purpose. Focus what God called you to. Focus on what you want to be in life. Focus on what makes you happy. Focus on what brings you joy in life. And that is really going to help you step into that new person that you're supposed to be, or that new person that you want to be or you desire to be. Show up for God. I'm telling you, if I have any God believers out there on this channel, type down amen in the comments, type God is my savior, type anything that you feel like you should put. But seriously, like, show up for God, y'all. It's so important. And I'm still working on my relationship with God every single day. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that my relationship is perfect. It's been some days where I just feel like, and then there are other days where I'm just like, God, I need you, you know? And it's important that you show up for God every single day, that you put God in your life every single day, that you strive to have a relationship with him. Because if you don't, man, I'm telling you, before I had God in my life, or like I said, I've been raised in the church, I've been raised around, you know, God, I've been raised on the Bible, but you know how it is when we kids. Like, when people bash something into your head, you don't receive it. You don't really acknowledge it. But as you get older and as you grow up, you start to get a different perspective on it. You start to see it in a different way. And that's basically, Lord, please tell these neighbors to stop. Yeah, it's just important to show up for God every single day. Another thing that I got from Sarah Jakes Roberts is, I'm gonna read it because it's too long. My identity isn't attached to what I'm standing around. My identity is attached to who God says that I am. And basically what that means to me is, just because I'm around family members that don't believe in me, or family or people period that don't believe in me, or people who don't see me as who I'm trying to become, or I'm surrounded by, you know, maybe bad habits or bad influences, just because I'm surrounded by this doesn't mean that that's who I'm meant to be. God ultimately knows who I'm meant to be. God is the one who's going to continue to push you to be who he sees you to be. So don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back from greatness. Don't hold yourself back from God's love and God's blessings and God's miracles, because at the end of the day, in order to strive in life, in my opinion, in order to strive in life, in order to get far in life, you have to have him you have to have a relationship with God. You have to have God in your life, period. Whether that means you get up and pray, whether that means you do a devotional, whether that means you read a Bible, whether that means you just lay down and just talk to God, literally. People be thinking that, I know y'all seen that TikTok where it was like, people be thinking that people be praying to God like, dear Father, Holy Spirit, and the Son of, all of, you feel me? People be thinking that you be doing all of that. Really, in reality, literally, I will just lay there and just talk to God. I'll lay there and just cry and give God all of my worries, all my fears, all my doubts. I'll just give everything to him, release everything to him. And it's not in no like crazy religious way like you think that it may be, or people may think that it may be. It's literally like how I'm talking to a normal person, a regular conversation. That's all you have to do. If you never talked to God before, you never prayed to God, try that. Try just sitting on the floor, looking up in the air, you know, God, how are you today? Because today for me, it was just, you know, and just go off about it like that, you know? It's not as deep as people be making it seem. Like, it's literally, God, I be talking to him like he's one of my best friends. Like, seriously. Anyway, another big thing that I heard from the sermon was, allow the Holy Spirit to work in you before he can work through you. And that basically means, to me, you have to allow your change to happen. You have to allow God to take those things out of you that don't belong in your life. You have to allow God to remove uncertainties from your life, to remove fears and doubts from your life, to remove all those insecurities that you have from your life. And when you allow him to do that, you'll allow him to work through you eventually. He'll be able to bring those miracles and those promises that he told you that he would deliver to you. But you have to start within yourself. You have to get up every morning, even if you don't feel like it. You have to get up every morning and you have to push yourself to be a better you. You have to be better than you were yesterday, okay? Type it down in the comments below. Be better than you were yesterday. Remember this, and this is my last quote. I forgot it. Remember this. Can't change the world with who you used to be. And if you don't know what that means, I'll explain it. If you want to have that business, you can't be who you were yesterday, or you can't be who you were 3 months ago or a year ago. You have to change into a new person, because in order to start that business, it's going to require you to know different things. It's going to require you to have different attributes about yourself and different personality traits about yourself. You're going to have to be more stern. You're going to have to be more attentive. You're going to have just all of these different things that you have to make sure. If you're a lazy person and you know that you're a lazy person, what do you think is going to happen in your business? Nothing, because you can't continue to be who you are and expect great things for your life. That's not how it works. But yeah, that's just what today's episode was on. Step into a new year. It's time for change, honey. It's time for you to be queens. It's time to step into that crown. It's time. You only get one life. My stepmother always says this to me. You only get one life. Live your life to the best of your ability. Do everything that you can do in your power to make sure that you have the life that you want. So to make sure that you have the life that God sees you to have, you have to continue to push yourself. I know it's going to be hard. I've gone through some hard times, but I know I got even harder journeys and roads to go past. But at the end of the day, guess what? I'm going to do them, and I'm going to push past them. And whenever it gets too hard, guess who I'm going to call on? You have to continue to push yourself. It is so vital. It's so important. It is so important. Don't be who you were yesterday. It's time to step into a new year. But yeah, that's all I have for today. You guys already know what's coming up. Gotta find our verse. So I got this from Amazon. It's so cute. It's a diary of a healing black woman. Because that's what I am. Healing. Okay? You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand. John 13:7. Now, that basically to me means you may not know what's going on right now. You may not understand why God is leading you in the direction that He is. You may not understand why your life is going the way that it is. But at the end of the day, you will. But you have to allow life to progress. You have to allow yourself to keep moving forward. You have to allow yourself to keep changing who you are, changing your perspective, changing, into a better you. And having faith that God's got your back. Having faith that all of those hopes and dreams that you have for your life, God will deliver on. You have to have faith. I don't know if you guys heard. In the Bible, there's a verse of, I believe it's Peter. Let me look it up before I say the wrong thing, okay? Because I ain't trying to get nobody in my butt. Yes, Peter and Jesus. Oh, that's right. Ooh, look at me. Anyway, so in the Bible, there is a story of Peter and Jesus. And basically, the story goes, Jesus and his disciples were on a boat. And it was a really bad storm that ended up hitting. And then Jesus was walking on water. So all his disciples looked out of the boat like, who's that? Like, who that? Or whatever. And they thought it was a ghost. So one of his disciples, Peter, called out and said, if you are, I don't know what he said exactly. I'm not even going to mix the words up. But basically it was saying, if you are my Savior, or if you're Jesus, or if you're Lord, let me step out into the water. So Jesus said, okay. And Peter stepped out into the water. When Peter stepped out into the water, he was looking at Jesus the entire time. He never took his eyes off of him. And he was walking on water with Jesus. And then he looked down and he seen the waves crashing under him like, whoa, how was this happening? And then he fell. So to me, that story means to me, you have to have faith in what God is doing in your life. You have to have faith that every decision, every journey that you go on, that God puts you through, every opportunity that he brings into your life, whether they're good or bad, every lesson that you learn, you have to have faith that God is leading you in the right direction. You have to have faith that God is leading you to a greater purpose. But when you look down, or if you look around you and you get influenced by the things or people around you that put things inside of your mind, or, you know, maybe it was something that you had faith in God about, and then you started thinking about other things. You was like, well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And you lose your faith. And you don't see God anymore because you allow the distractions around you to affect your faith, and you lose it. It's important not to allow that to happen, because you're going to do exactly what happened to Peter. You're going to fall into the water. You're going to fall to temptation. You're going to fall to, you know, the bad in the world. You have to keep your eyes on God. You have to keep your eyes focused on God. And I know that's harder said than done, because there have been times where I was just like, God, and then I go back, you know. But you have to remember to wash away your sins, and you have to remember to ask God for forgiveness, and you have to remember that God knows better. God knows where your life is going to lead. God knows what your future is going to hold. So you have to have faith in him that you will be able to reach those dreams and those desires. You have to remember that you'll be able to get there, but you have to remain your focus on God. Because if you don't, good luck. I don't know what else to say, but like, seriously, good luck. Like, because you're going to fall to the things that you were so afraid of. You're going to fall to those worries and those fears and those insecurities again. So just remain focused on God. That's my biggest thing. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you already know, it's your girl amiramariiib, amiramariiib. I don't know which one I'm going to turn it to, but I'm going to just say both. amiramariiib. amiramariiib sounds so much better, right? I don't know. But anyway, love you guys and have a blessed one. See you.